Hook. After every major storm in Florida, people walk onto the beach with metal detectors and find 300-year-old gold coins in the sand. Not replicas. Not fakes. Real Spanish gold doubloons worth thousands of dollars each, because in 1715, 11 treasure ships carrying $400 million hit a hurricane, and they've been paying it back ever since. Spain was desperate. Spain was broke. The War of Spanish Succession had bled the empire dry for 13 years, and now, sitting in ports across the Americas, was a fortune that hadn't crossed the Atlantic in years. Silver from Mexican mines. Gold from Colombian streams. Emeralds from the Muso caves. And Chinese porcelain that had traveled all the way from Canton to Manila to Acapulco on pack mules, and then to Veracruz by road. 2 separate treasure fleets were ordered to combine and sail together. The new EHVA España fleet, under Captain General Juan Esteban de Ubilla, carried 5 ships loaded with Mexican silver, 3 million coins packed into 1,300 wooden chests. The Tierra Firme fleet, under Don Antonio de Havrz, carried 6 ships from South America with gold, emeralds, and something special. 8 chests of jewelry ordered by the new Queen of Spain, Elizabeth Farnese. A 74-carat emerald ring, a heart made of 130 matching pearls, a pair of earrings, each with 14 pearls, a rosary of pure coral, wedding gifts that would never arrive. 1 French warship, the Le Griffon, joined as escort. 12 ships total, 2,500 souls. They should have waited. It was July, the middle of hurricane season. Ubilla himself argued against leaving, but the crown needed its money. On July 24, 1715, the combined fleet sailed out of Havana Harbor, the hurricane. 7 days later, at 2 in the morning, on July 31st, the hurricane hit. 100-mile-per-hour winds, waves higher than the ship's masts. In the darkness and chaos, the fleet had no chance. One by one, 11 Spanish ships were driven onto the reefs and sandbars along 50 miles of Florida coastline. Hulls cracked open, cargo scattered across the ocean floor, masts snapped like matchsticks. Over 1,000 people drowned, including General Ubilla himself, who went down with his flagship, the Nuestra Señora de la Regla. Only the French Le Griffon survived. Her captain had kept his distance from the Spanish convoy, staying further out to sea. He sailed back to Europe with the only intact report of what had happened. The survivors, perhaps 1,500 of them, washed ashore in scattered groups along an uninhabited coastline. No towns, no roads, no fresh water. They gathered in roughly 10 makeshift camps, surrounded by wilderness, waiting for rescue that wouldn't come for weeks. The pirate connection Spain sent salvage ships from Havana. Admiral Salmon organized the survivors into a fortified camp at Palmar de Ice, near what is now Sebastian, Florida. Native divers were hired to swim down to the shallow wrecks and bring up treasure. By September, they'd recovered 5 million pieces of eight. But word travels, and pirates were listening. In December 1715, the English privateer Henry Jennings captured a Spanish mail ship. From her captain, Pedro de la Vega, Jennings extracted the exact location of the salvage camp. In January 1716, Jennings and 300 armed men aboard 2 sloops attacked. The Spanish had 60 soldiers guarding a fortune. It wasn't even a fight. Jennings walked away with 120,000 pieces of eight. Roughly 10 years, salary for every man in his crew, earned in a single afternoon. And this is where history gets interesting. That one raid funded an entire generation of pirates. Samuel Bellamy, Benjamin Hornigold, Charles Vane, Edward England. The treasure from the 1715 fleet became the startup capital for what historians now call the Golden Age of Piracy, the era of Blackbeard. Funded by Spanish gold from a Florida beach. Kip Wagner and the beach coins. For 240 years, the treasure sat forgotten. Then, in the late 1950s, a retired building contractor named Kip Wagner was walking on the beach near Sebastian, Florida after a storm. He found a silver coin in the sand. then another, then another. He noticed something strange. None of the coins were dated after 1715. Wagner became obsessed. He spent years in libraries, tracking down old maps and Spanish records. Then his neighbor, Dr. Kip Kelso, found an 18th-century map by Bernard Romans that marked a spot near the Sebastian River with the note, "Opposite this river perished the admiral commanding the Plate Fleet of 1715. The wrecks were right off his beach, in water only 15 to 30 feet deep, just a few hundred yards from shore." In 1961, Wagner and 7 friends incorporated the Real 8 Company, named for the Spanish Ocho Reales, the piece of 8, and started diving. What they found was staggering. In 1964, Wagner brought in a young diver named Mel Fisher. That May, Fisher hit what became known as the Carpet of Gold. 1,033 gold coins spread across the ocean floor. The bottom literally looked paved in gold. Mexican, Peruvian, and Colombian cobs, all hand-struck, each one unique. National Geographic ran an exclusive feature in January 1965. It remains the single largest gold coin recovery in 1715 fleet history. Fisher would later go on to spend 16 years searching for the Etosha, finding $450 million in gold. But his career started here, on the Treasure Coast, picking up gold coins that had been sitting in the sand since before the American Revolution. They're still finding treasure. Here's what makes the 1715 fleet different from every other shipwreck story. The treasure is still coming up. The wrecks sit in shallow water, close to shore. Every major storm shifts the sand, revealing new artifacts that have been buried for 3 centuries. And people find them. In July 2015, exactly 300 years after the disaster, a team led by Brent Brisbane recovered 350 gold coins from Corrigan's Wreck near Vero Beach. 9 of them were royal gold coins, ceremonial 8 escudo pieces struck specially for the King of Spain. The find was worth $4.5 million. That same year, the Schmidt family found 53 gold coins and 40 feet of gold chain, including a rare tricentennial royal, worth about $1 million. In 2025, this year, Captain Levin Shavers and his crew pulled up 1,051 silver coins, 5 gold coins, and other gold artifacts. Value: approximately $1 million. 310 years after the hurricane, and the ocean is still giving up Spanish gold. And the beaches? Metal detectorists still find coins after storms, just lying in the sand. What's still down there? Of the 11 ships that went down, at least 2 have never been found. The Santa Rita y Animas, the Señor San Miguel, which historical records describe as being swallowed by the sea. These ships and their cargo are still out there, somewhere along 50 miles of Florida coastline, under 15 to 30 feet of water, and centuries of sand. The Queen's jewelry that never reached Elizabeth Farney HZ? Most of it is still missing. In 1993, salvagers found a diamond butterfly brooch with 161 rose-cut diamonds, but the 74-carat emerald ring and the heart of 130 pearls have never been recovered. Experts estimate that most of the original $400 million in cargo remains on the ocean floor. 3 centuries of salvage have only scratched the surface. CTA 12 ships, $400 million. And a hurricane that accidentally launched the Golden Age of Piracy. The 1715 treasure fleet isn't just a shipwreck story. It's the reason Florida's coastline is called the Treasure Coast. And 310 years later, the treasure is still washing up on the beach. If you want to see the robots that modern treasure hunters use to find wrecks like these, check out our episode on deep sea robots. Link is in the description. Hit subscribe, drop a comment. If you found a gold coin on the beach, would you keep looking or walk away?